Corky. Hey. Porky. And good morning from Germany. So I got here on Wednesday. Today is Friday. It's a holiday here in Germany. May Day, I think, May 1st. Anywho, all the shops are closed. So we're going to drive to the Netherlands, to Oberlink, which is a supposedly massive kind of RV outdoor camping kind of outfitter sort of thing. And we're going to get some bits and pieces to start getting this thing organized so I can get it on the road. Lots to do. I'll definitely, do a walkthrough when this thing is put together and not the disaster that it currently is. This is Kermit the van. Where's my hand? Let's do it this way. Kermit the van. So I've been just doing some chores and some organization today. I've been here about a couple of weeks now, and I'm here until at least through this week because Pork Chop, my trusty captain here, we can see him, has a vet appointment on Wednesday where we're going to try to get the titer test for the rabies antibody so that I can get back in from the Balkans later on this summer. So I'm not quite sure what my route is. At the end of the week, I will be heading south. I do know that. Still up in the air as if I am going to route down through, if I'm going to route down through Italy to Bari and then ferry over to Albania, or if I'm just going to bite the bullet and drive all the way down. I'd really think that it's 6 1/2 dozen the other, despite the fuel prices currently. The price of the ferry ticket with a pet cabin is, a little over $300 based on the quotes that I got. And, that may as well go into the tank, I suppose. But things are going well. I'm getting excited. I am ready to get on the road. I will tell you, my friends Lena and Gunter and Simon and Katie have been incredible hosts, letting me park up in this garden, which I'll show you a bit of. And, I'll put it this way. I thought I kind of had this thing down, right? Knew what I was going to do. Thought I knew what I was getting into, and then despite having come to Germany many, many, many times, you just forget until you are in the grocery store, for example, that you are functionally illiterate, Just finding small things can be difficult. So later this week, Monday, Tuesday, something like that, I'm hoping to do kind of a real shop, if you will, for some groceries and knickknacks to have for the journey south. I'm thinking, as far as travel time, it could take a good 5 to 6 days. I do not want to drive more than 5 hours a day unless I'm feeling good. And then there's the difference of, as far as distance traveled, it's one thing to do 5 hours on a motorway and another to do 5 hours on, an alpine 2-lane road with sheep and goats and all of that kind of fun stuff. So I'll do a quick tour here as to the state of Kermit. One thing I've noticed is that this is a constant effort of organization, reorganization. You think that something's going to work when you put it into this space or cupboard, and then you realize that's not going to be the case. So everything has to move. You move one, it's like a giant sort of game of Tetris. You move one thing and something else has to be moved as well. Another thing I've learned, if it's raining and it's wet outside, it is wet inside. And it's not because necessarily that, the van leaks or anything. It's just jammed. So let me take you inside and show you around a little bit. Okay, so we step inside into the lounge area. And immediately you take off your shoes. Cabin area. Cabin. What's that? My computer. The captain's chair does swivel to give you a little bit more room. This is Porky's spot. I am so thankful that I have a dog that loves warm weather because it's, about to be summertime in Europe and it's going to be hot. So up here is my first bulkhead storage, and I am doing things like, let me get you up there. All right, so bulkhead storage, I'm doing things like towels and extra linens and a pair of shoes and stuff like that. And that's working out well. And then over here, I've got what I refer to as my office. So this is kind of, my pharmacy. I've got this Georgia tag up. And this one here, books and pens and journals and bits and bobs and all of that. Now I can put Georgia back up. Okay, TV with satellite that, I'll be frank with you, I'm never going to use, but I probably won't get rid of because people seem to like it from a resale perspective. So, take it to the kitchen. Here's my 2-burner. Got my little garbage can there. Porky stuff goes there. Shoes. And then here, I have my utensils and, that kind of stuff. This van just basically came with everything. This is my air conditioner. I have my sink. I do not have water in the van yet, but that's what that is. And then down here, we have got pots and pans and all of that kind of good fun stuff. Right. Good storage in the garage, which I'll take you to in a minute. And then I have my bed, which I am airing out. Just getting some fresh air in here. Okay. So the toilet is pretty much kind of a big O storage area at the moment. I do have shower potential in here. It is very small, functional for emergencies. But right now, it is, as I said, somewhat of a closet because that is what I need it for. All right, and then we're back to the lounge. So I have basically, if I can kind of give you some perspective here. So I'm a pretty big guy. And, I can just turn around. And this is it. Let me take you to the garage. Okay, so come around back and I'll show you the garage. All right, so you can see what I mean. I'm already tight on storage. Here is my gas bottles, tools. I have no idea how much gas I've got in there. I am thinking I've got room for another one. I think maybe a small one. There's definitely a place to put one in, so I'm thinking about getting another before I hit the road. Don't know. Porky's kennel. Now this one is tricky. It may end up riding in the passenger seat or in the floor of the lounge when I'm driving so that I can free up this storage. But right now it's the only place that it can go other than the passenger seat, which is where, Porky is kind of living at the moment. Then I've got more chairs. This is a solar panel for my Blue Eddy power station. I also have about 200 watts of solar on the roof. This is a drawer that pulls out for additional storage, which I will not pull out because, that means I've got to take a chair and a table and a solar panel and all of that out. So, So that's kind of where we're at the moment. It's a great piece of kit, and I can't wait to really get moving in it. To places unknown and unseen by me to this point. You can tell that the previous owners really taken good care of this. It's flawless. Everything works. It's 20 years old. Everything works. Every light fixture. There's not a scratch on it. You fire this thing up and it sounds like a tank. It's wonderful. Yeah. So. I think I've so far, knock wood, I've gotten pretty lucky on the purchase, and very happy about that. I'm not quite sure how we're going to manage once things sort of heat up here in Europe. It will get very hot, particularly in the Balkans. And I've got a dog to think about. Like I said, fortunately, he does like warm weather. But, even so, there's extents to that. And like I said in a previous video, I don't know how much full-time van life, I'm going to be doing. I'm quite sure at some point I'm going to want an Airbnb with a proper shower and things like that. And just some quiet, I don't know. But right now it's very new and it's novel and it's very exciting. I've stayed in it every night since I've been here, and we're sleeping okay. It's very peaceful. I will say that the mattress, you're in a van, you can feel the bar in your back at night. I've gone mattress shopping. It has to be a custom thing. The size is not standard. It would have to be cut. One option there would be just to get a couple of pieces of foam and cut that and put on it. So if you have any ideas about a good option for a 2006 Citroën Impulse, please let me know. So this garden is a place that is near and dear to my heart. About 8, maybe 10 years ago now, I accepted an invitation to a barbecue. I was in Cologne, which is about an hour or so south of here, to come to a barbecue. My friend Simon said, hey, come to a barbecue at my mom's garden, take the train, we'll get you back home. And I really thought about it and was like, I really want to do that. I was at a music festival, I had my own things going, and I thought, why not? Why not? And it completely changed my life. I have seen birthday parties, marriage proposals, wedding anniversaries, all from the beauty of this garden. Simon's mother is Lena, and they have come to the United States to visit me, and they've met my family, and it has truly been one of the great experiences of a lifetime. And it just goes to show you, when someone, especially in a foreign country, invites you to their home, definitely consider accepting that invitation, because it could totally change your life, and it totally has changed mine. Porky is living his best life. I was so worried about how he was going to do. Basically, with the travel, I knew once I got here that everything would probably be okay. He was just a champ through check-in at the airport, arrival in Frankfurt, just not a peep. Now, he was very excited and very happy to get out of his crate, for sure. Now, where I'm at in the garden is surrounded by horse farms, and that has been very interesting for Porky to experience for the first time. And he's got something to say about them usually, but I think he's living his best life, So some stomach issues when we first got here. Nothing some rice and chicken didn't cure over the course of a few days, and I've found the right food. That was what was causing the problem. But from Porky's perspective, it couldn't be going any better, I don't think. So we're going to wrap this video on down here at this point. Tomorrow's the big day. Porky and I are getting on the road, And I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous, you know. We'll see how it goes. My goal tomorrow, I'm in northwest Germany, around Dortmund, Dusseldorf area, and my goal is to get to the other side of Nuremberg, in between Nuremberg and the Austrian border. So that's my goal tomorrow. I've got an eye on a campsite. I haven't booked anything. We're going to see how winging it goes. Got a full tank of diesel. That was, you know, kind of, well, it wasn't shocking, but, you know, when I equated it from liters to gallons, and then it was like, wow, this is no bullshit over here. Went to a Turkish barber, had a great experience with that. I swear to God, my skin has not felt this soft since, you know, I came out of my mama. That was so much fun, and I will definitely do that again when I come back up here in July. We got the van weighed. I've got about 300 kilograms to play with. Now, I don't have water, but if I just kind of do a little bit of math and pretend like I have water, that's kind of where I'm at. So, you know, it's not a lot of room. I've got, you know, probably enough weight for 2 more me's up in this bitch. And then that's probably going to start pushing me. So a couple of other things left to do. I've got to get what's called a vignette for Austria. Their toll system on the freeways are electric. So you register, they have your license plate. So as you go through the camera, it picks you up. And just try to figure out where I will stay along the way. The other thing I did is I did a full grocery shop. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a constant game of reorganization. So what I thought was my office is really now a food pantry, and the office has moved. And I bought various bits and bobs and bits and pieces and all of that to, you know, try to make life a little bit easier. I can't wait to try to cook something. I don't have a lot of meals planned because I'm going to be, you know, driving pretty aggressively. You know, at this point, I've got to get out of the Schengen zone, and I'll talk more about that in upcoming videos and what all that crap means. But I need to get out so that I can use Schengen time later this summer and move a bit slower. This has basically just been about doing the administrative stuff, getting Porky situated, getting the van situated, and all of that. So the next, you know, 5 days, 6 days, however long it takes me to get down there, because I'm not going to drive 12 hours a day. I'm just not doing it. This is going to be pretty much drive, sleep, drive, sleep, drive, sleep, right? Not a lot of sightseeing. Honestly, I don't know how much I'll even film of it, but I'll probably film some. And then once I get to Montenegro, I'll be out of the Schengen zone, and I'll start to slow it down just a little bit, you know, and relaxing, and then starting to cook some and what have you. Of course, I mean, I definitely want to be exploring some food in these parts of the world that, you know, isn't SpaghettiOs, right? So, meaning quick stuff you cook when you're camping. So guys, I think that's about it for this one. You know, if you want to follow along, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. And, you know, hopefully these become a little bit more exciting, or otherwise I'm up shit's creek, kids. Seriously though, I'd love to have you come along for the literal ride. We're going to see you next time. Cheers. So I'm stuck, and this gent is going to help me get out of here. You're fine, buddy. Here we go.